Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands, and it's always a joy and honor to welcome you to our meditation portion of the service. I invite you to become mindful of your posture. You may want to have your hands just gently lay on your upper thighs with the palms facing up. Become mindful of your breathing, just gentle inhales in. And easy and deliberate exhales out for 3 to 4 times as long. And gentle inhales in. And easy and deliberate exhales out. We consecrate this next breath as a divine and holy breath. We breathe that in. And we exhale out that same divine and holy breath. Breathing in the divine and holy breath. And exhaling out anything and everything that does not match that divine and holy breath. And so as we return to our normal breathing pattern, we're reminded that this divine, this holy, this sacred energy is with us with something as simple as our breathing. And I name this time of stillness and sacred silence a time of revelation, of healing, of transformation. And so we rest in this divine and holy sacred breath. Let it hold you and let you commune with it in a deeper and broader and bolder and wider way than ever before. And together we anchor into the stillness and sacred silence. Allow yourself to fall even deeper into the sacred, divine, and holy breath. Let it hold you. Let you commune with it. Just allow for anything that comes to mind to come to mind for healing and transformation. And if you're willing, just infuse whatever may come to mind with the same divine, sacred, holy breath. Welcome whatever insight or revelation. Know that the Spirit within, that resides within, knows exactly what is needed for your soul's perfect evolution at this moment in time. Inviting you to allow the heart space to just fill with gratitude with each breath. Gratitude for any insight or revelation. And gratitude for any healing or transformation. And gratitude for just being still in the I am that I am. Feel what it feels like to be held and rocked and cradled in the arms of the divine within. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Imagine that. Held and rocked and cradled in the arms of the divine within. Where you are perfectly known, perfectly maintained, perfectly sustained, unconditionally loved. Allow divine energy to infuse every corpuscle, cell, atom, fiber of your being. In all the realms, conscious, unconscious. In all the chakra points throughout the soul. See this divine love and light intelligence have its full sway to heal and reveal. And so again, just allow for the heart space to fill with gratitude, and even more gratitude for each inhale, even more gratitude with each and every exhale. Grateful for the time that we spend in sacred silence, communing with the Most High. Grateful for all healing and transformation, demonstration, manifestation that is for our highest and best good. Inviting you to bring your awareness back to the body temple. You may want to wiggle in the chair, make sure you feel your support in the chair. You could tap the fingertips gently together. You may want to feel the ground beneath your feet, anchoring your awareness back to this present moment. And so knowing that we've infused this space, the sanctuary space, with a tremendous amount of healing energy that allows for each person who enters the space to reveal for themselves what's most needed by their soul, whatever healing and transformation, whatever revelation, whatever insight. It comes forth with ease and grace because of the energy that has been combined in love. I'm grateful to each of you. I am, when you're ready and in your own time, just simply allow for the outer eyes to open, fully refreshed and revitalized, re-energized, reinvigorated, restored, made new. And we prepare for the continuation of today's service with ease and with grace, with joy and anticipation of the all good. Namaste.
Welcome. look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Now look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together. Yeah, we come together. Oh, we come together. In the name of love. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, 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 hey, hey. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. I want to see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, 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 hey, hey. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. I said, my soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. I said, my soul is welcome here. is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Here's Eileen.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is a exquisitely beautiful day. I love this day. Who's with me? I knew it. I knew it. You're all with me. Everybody, all over the planet is with me today. Well, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Redlands, and thank you for joining us Facebook Live and on YouTube. And what is so wonderful is that every Sunday, more and more people are joining us online, and we just love to see the fact that we are growing like this. It's just wonderful. My name is Eileen, and it is truly a privilege and an honor to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. CSL Redlands is a New Thought community living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religious transitions and traditions and spiritual paths, and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Someone has walked into this beautiful sanctuary with beautiful, beautiful flowers. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful day. Thank you, Patty. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone and all of creation. If you are here with us for the first time, raise your hand and let us greet you properly. If you are here for the first time online, give us a little notice of that in the chat part there. Let us know where you're watching from. We know you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we are delighted to have you visit with us today. And people in the sanctuary, a gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and place them safely away, and you may participate more phonally. Fully. Participate more fully. You got that? And again, I say this is such a beautiful day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Eileen. Okay, we're going to just settle down for a minute here and get centered, have a little meditation. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. Yes, the God in me God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well.
And so, good morning, everybody. I'd like to invite you to turn within, however that's comfortable for you. As we become mindful of our breathing, we breathe in the divine, sacred, and holy breath. And we exhale out anything and everything that does not match that divine, sacred, holy, perfect breath. And as we return to our normal breathing pattern, how good it is to know that the divine is at hand, as close to us as our breath, right? Nearer than our hands and feet, and within our breath. And so I just bless this time that we spend together in sacred service and celebration of life. That's what each day is. Each day we wake up, that means there's more to do. There's a purpose-driven life just for me, just for you. And so it's from this place of unification and oneness that I speak this word and know that anything and everything that needs to unfold shall continue to unfold with ease and grace, with joy, with surrender. I bless this service as it continues. I bless the music under the direction of Gilman Carver. I bless our practitioners. I bless our board that's having a meeting later today. I bless each congregant. I bless each person watching remotely. Blessing the sound booth and our technology. And let's just take a moment now to find peace within ourselves and then send peace from within ourselves throughout our country. You can see it as a ball of light that goes through the center of the sanctuary and is infused in the ethers of the clouds and the air, going north to south, east to west, oceans to the mountains. Blessing the firefighters working to keep the fires at bay. Blessing all the places within the country that are experiencing torrential flooding. And blessing Mother Earth, knowing that this was the hottest June on record in the planet. Calling forth for all that needs to be done to correct and eradicate climate change. Let that be done with ease and grace. Let's take our message and energy of peace throughout the globe. Any place that is riddled with struggle and strife, and there are many. Join us in installing a protective peace shield through Ukraine from border to border, every village, every city, every town. Now just allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude, gratitude for your very life and beingness. Inviting you to accept for yourself any transformation, any healing, any demonstration, any manifestation that's most needed, that's being called forth right here and right now by your soul. Just allow that. If you're willing to allow that to the divine knows what to do on time, every time. So encouraging you and inviting you now to be willing, more willing than before, to accept all healing, all personal transformation, all revelation, all insight, all wisdom, allowing for the intelligence within the divine to have its full sway in, through, and as your very life. Spirit always awaits for your yes and your permission, encouraging and inviting each to say yes, 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 as long as it's for your highest and best good. I call it forth right here and right now. Anything and everything that is heretofore blocked or hindered, deferred, denied, or delayed, this highest expression for your personal good and for the communal good, let it slip away with ease and grace and return to the nothingness from where it came, and be replaced with the truth that Spirit is at hand, the universe is at hand, God is at hand, wisdom is at hand, intelligence is at hand, right here and right now, knows the way, and works with it through each of us, through me, through you. I release my word to the law of life, knowing that it's fulfilled and done, and I'm so grateful to be here together with you, where two or more gathered, and we make a way where no way may have been possible in the human. In the divine, all things are possible. And together, I invite you to say with me, and so it is. Holly, do you want to do a reading? I have a fun reading up here. Come on up. I should have given it to you earlier, but when I saw it, I thought Holly would be perfect to read this. It's in a big font.
Thank God. Okay.
So good. And it's by this person.
Okay. This is I was going to talk into that. So this is written by Eureka Stanton. Own it. Own the fact that you are different. Own that you are a deep feeler and thinker. Own the fact that you are tuned into a different frequency. Own the fact that you sense things others don't. Own the fact that you want to talk about angels, energy, miracles, and spirituality. Own that you're done having meaningless conversations. Own that you're done holding yourself back. Own that you crave freedom to feel the now. It's okay if your family doesn't get you. It's okay if the world judges you. It's okay that you want to dance barefoot upon the earth and endlessly gaze at the stars. It's okay that you cry over sunsets and chase moonbeams. It's wonderful, in fact. It's beautiful. You have come a long way to be who you are, so own it. Own all of it. Love all of you. The world needs you to be exactly as you are.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you. And so thank you, Holly, for that. I thought that was a beautiful reading. Own it. So good morning, everybody. Again, my name's Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners. Here we go, Holly. And I have a spiritual emeritus status, which I think is something, Reverend Caitlin, you're coming upon. Is that right? Mm-hmm. More than 20 years of service. So thank you for that to Reverend Caitlin as well. So I've served the Redlands Center since about 2014, and we've been particularly active since 2016. So one of the goals that I have when I get to speak and have the honor and privilege of being on the podium is to impart practical spiritual tools for your everyday living, right? If our lives can improve, then hopefully you'll want to learn more and study more. So this month's theme is speaking truth to circumstance. And I wanted to, and today's particular talk title is Standing in Truth. And so when I want to start out by the obvious, and I've done this the last 2 or 3 weeks, is when we say truth, we're talking about capital T, right? Spiritual truth. So we're not talking about your personal or human truth. Does that make sense? Very, very different. These are different things because you can use the teachings and the tools of science of mind, right? And you can develop something that's true to you. You can develop the things that you're experiencing in your life, but they're with a small t. They're not equal to, they're not the same as the eternal or divine spiritual truths. And so, but you can create from that. So we want to align. The goal of standing in truth is that we want to align to spiritual truths, what is true and what is so, right? And that's something that you can always count on. They're timeless. They're timeless traits. They're timeless qualities. They're eternally so. And so we spoke a little bit over the past couple of weeks about waking up, right? About peeling the layers of the artichoke back to find that at the center is this beautiful heart that is your heart, that matches, if we're matching with the spiritual truth of your heart, it would be matching with the unconditional love that the divine has, as it created each of us whole, complete, perfect, right? We're a masterpiece in the eye of the divine. Doesn't that feel good? Like, if you can you take that in? Like, if you want to say it as an affirmation, I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. Yes, I am the divine's masterpiece. Doesn't that feel interesting? Because if you think about it that way, your holiness is not something you have to work for. Your holiness is something that I'm going to encourage you to accept more and more and more. Your holiness is something that was encoded in your DNA. And it's for your own particular aha to have that insight. For when we do our spiritual practices of journaling, taking classes, meditation, creating art, creating poetry, creating the spoken word, creating affirmative spiritual mind treatment. Right? You're using the divine power within you to unfold and uncover more of the true holiness that is innate. It's innate within you. And so last week we reflected on the quote that an expanded mind cannot retract. And so for this week I have an updated quote for you. It's from Robin Myers. The book is called The Underground Church. And it says, truth doesn't just enlighten us, it obligates us. Think about that. Truth doesn't just enlighten us, it obligates us. So once you know that you know, right, and you know that you know that you know, you can't pretend that now you don't know that. And so you become more accountable and responsible. That's something that I really like as the Science of Mind teaching, is that we have to be accountable for our words, our deeds, our intentions, and our actions. And we spoke about this for all 3 weeks in the past, about that we cannot fool the universe, right? We can try. We cannot fool spirit. We can try, right? And so, but we can fool ourselves. A lot of people do fool ourselves. We do fool ourselves a lot of the time, right? So what I want us to do is wake up to and stand in the spiritual truth, which means that there's really not a lot to do. There's not a big to-do list in spirit. For spirit is calling us forth really to just be. There's a phrase you've heard many times, I'm sure, in our centers. Be still and know that I am God, or I am spirit in the midst of you. That's really our only goal. Be still and know. So when I say standing in the truth, it's really just when you look in the mirror, what are you telling yourself? You know, we had one of our senior ministers here, Dr. Ruth, used to say that exercise was very, very difficult. And that's a senior minister with many, many years of Science of Mind training. And I was so touched when I heard her say multiple times that was something very painful for her when she looked in the mirror and we do exercises in classes, right, with affirmations. You want to see the truth of your being, that you are loved, that you are loving, that you are worthy, that you are whole, that you're complete, that you're abundant, that you're healthy, that you're joyful, that you're energetic, that there's nothing missing, that there's nothing lacking, that there's nothing needing, there's nothing wanting. And you know what? Your worthiness doesn't come from the approval of others. Your worthiness comes from the center of you. It comes from your DNA. It comes from the core of you. And so I want to encourage all of us, if you hear nothing else and you're within the sound of my voice, just take that as a practice this week. That the love that we seek has to first come from ourselves. It's coming from the divinity within ourselves for ourselves. If we've made errors and mistakes in the past, only we can forgive ourselves. We cannot look to an entity outside of ourselves. We cannot look for anything that's outside of ourselves to make an excuse to have further delay. I'm going to call forth for right now for healing to occur. It's by our willingness. Healings occur by our willingness to surrender. And you'll hear a phrase, let go. Well, that's not that easy. A lot of the times in the human. Sometimes in the human, we want to hold on to hurt, right? To betrayals, to disloyalties. I'm going to call forth for healing to take place. If you've ever loved anyone and you know that feeling, it's a flow, right? It's usually a pretty natural flow. And it's usually only us that gets in the way, where we want to hold on to something. And it's pretty easy to hold on to something, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, that's with a small t. That's with the small t. That whatever it is you're holding on to, it's not going to create anything that I don't think that you really, really want. At the same time, it'll probably teach you some things. It'll allow you to learn some life lessons for yourself. Because in spiritual teachings and in spiritual awakenings, lessons are repeated until learned. Does everybody know that? So it's very important. You'll have another chance to meet that same romantic relationship that was an awful choice for you. If you didn't get it wrong the first time, you can get it wrong a second time and a third time and right? They're just going to come. They're going to look a different way. They may be taller. They may have blonde hair. They may be more fit. But they're going to have the core lessons that are awaiting for your learning, for your highest and best good. And so some of the things we spoke about for the last few weeks that I think are really good is to practice the pause. Sometimes we need to practice a pause. Or we need to say the thing that you want to say out loud. Say it in your head first, and if it was really harsh, maybe you don't need to say it out loud. Or maybe you just need to write some things out. That's why I think journaling is so powerful. Because you could write anything there, right? In fact, you could write it and then you could burn it. You can write it and throw it in the fireplace. You can write it and throw it in a pot of water after you burn it. Just let it go. Release it and surrender it. Also, not responding is a response. I think it's worthy to keep mentioning that. Sometimes, I remember many, many years ago, I used to think of it as, wow, like somebody threw something at you, but it's, you know what a boomerang is, right? I would always be like, I would try to duck, but as I get older, I can't get as low. And sometimes if you don't catch it, if you don't accept the boomerang, I'm not saying it wasn't meant for me. I'm not saying I didn't deserve it. But I'm saying I didn't catch it. I think we should practice that more, but we have to do it cautiously. You remember the Matrix, right? Because think about it. If you catch it, then you're involved. Or sometimes you just have to hear it and say, did I hear that right? Or sometimes you have to read it, and maybe it's, sometimes I would send things out and I don't know all the right ways to text, I'm of a certain age, and if I put something in a capital letter, it does not mean I'm screaming at you. But to people who know the proper way to text or whatever, it doesn't, maybe I just wanted to capitalize that. Maybe I like the way that looked. So sometimes I think we misunderstand, too, things that are sent our way. Because we have to remember, we're living in a time that's a very difficult time because you don't even ever have to look up. You could just look down at your phone your whole life. A lot of people do. And they never look up. They never look up to see the flower on the vine. They never look up to see what's happening in front of them. Haven't you seen people crossing busy streets looking down at their phone? They barely even see the curb that they're stepping off of. And what about a car that might miss the crosswalk? Am I the only one that saw that? Yeah. Okay. So let me see what's in my notes, because they're okay. We must find those things in life that keep us spiritually awakened to the glory and magnificence of the world and life-affirming universe in which we reside. I like that. Did you like that? So we spoke about also finding the places where your soul is at home, right? We spoke about some people, for me, I think it could be the sand in the ocean. Even though as many times as I go down to the beach, do I make the extra 5 minutes that it takes to get to the sand in the ocean? Not as often as I wish. But I could tell you, as soon as my feet are in the sand and as soon as my feet touch the water, oh my goodness. There's amazing transformational healing and energy that can happen from your feet simply touching the sand, then going into the shallow part of the water, letting your feet touch the sand, that's the wet part of the water, and then seeing that expansive universe and knowing that anything that you're going through in the human is inconsequential, right? As it relates to the expansiveness and the healing power and energy of the ocean. Some people find it in nature, in the mountains and hiking. So the one thing I wanted to do when we're talking about standing in spiritual truth, I'm just going to go to the glossary definition for you from the Science of Mind. And this is the under truth. If you want to let your outer eyes close, you can do that. Just take this in. So truth, that which is, it is the reason, cause, and power in and through everything. It is birthless, deathless, changeless, complete, perfect, whole, self-existent, causeless, almighty thing that implies reality. Spirit knows nothing outside itself. The truth is that which is, and being that the truth can have nothing outside itself, consequently spirit is indivisible, changeless, and complete within itself. All right. So now there's an interesting part of the talk where I was able, and Eileen helped me, and thank you, sign up for these beautiful quotes that come to match the talk titles, and there's always a lot of good ones. I'm going to do a few of them for you. One of them I pulled out of Facebook. There's a guy on there named Jay, it's just J period, and then Mike Fields, and he's brilliant. This is his quote: "Your brain's purpose is not to make you happy, but rather to ensure your survival. It's important to be aware of your thoughts and not let them dominate your actions. Remember that thoughts are fleeting and can be let go of like leaves in the wind. Choose the ones that benefit you best. You, as the observer, are the one in control." I love that. All right, let's see. There's some other ones. Oh, here's another really good one. This is from Dan Coe, K-O-E. And it says, "The only thing more challenging than pursuing the highest version of yourself is not pursuing the highest version of yourself." Yeah, that's Dan Coe, K-O-E. He's a freelance creator. Then there's a few other things. Before I go to these other things, is anybody watching tennis? Wimbledon is almost over. No? Is anybody even a tennis fan? One tennis fan. Kenny, huh? All I'm going to say is if you could Google sometimes they have people talk after they have a win, right? They go to they now are bringing the microphones to the court, and they want the winner of the match to give a talk. It's only at the finals that they allow both people, the runner-up and the winner, right, to talk. And there's a lady from Tunisia named Ons Jabour. She has labeled herself the Minister of Happiness, and she had an interesting thing that spoke to me when we talk about this idea of standing in truth. So a lot of athletes, have mental coaches, right? And she made a comment in her victory speech in the semifinal. She said, "The old me wouldn't have won this match." And for me, that was really powerful because she was aware of whatever techniques that she had learned through breathing or meditation or maybe letting go of a past mistake or a bad shot to bring the present moment back to be able to complete a victorious match athletically. Isn't that powerful? And it's the very same thing we're teaching here, because you can look at any practitioner, you can take any coursework, and you can see that you're definitely adding to your spiritual toolbox and your team.
Mark,
What's that?
I can't tell you this, since you didn't get any other responses. This woman was the first unseeded player to win.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about in the Wimbledon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you more then. So Phil, the reporter, and Phil is asking for more information because okay, there's more to say about this. The person I just talked about, right, was Anne Jabbour of Tunisia. So she's got an entire continent counting on her. Like, she is a major celebrity in her continent. And for Wimbledon, a lot of tennis players dream of winning that from when they're 5 to 7 years old, right? And she even was in the final last year. She was in the final this year. She has on her screensaver on her cell phone the plate. The Venus trophy is a bowl or a plate. And she didn't win. And if you watched the game, she beat incredible players, the number 2 player in the world, the people who can hit the ball like amazingly hard and off the court. And this other person, I believe the name is Marketa Vandrousova or Vandrousova. So she won. And she had only played 11 matches on grass prior to Wimbledon and only won 4 of them. So she was even thinking, maybe I'll just skip grass. Like, could you imagine being with your husband and your team and saying, maybe we shouldn't even play on grass this season? And just came in and was getting every ball back, right? And not playing not to lose, but actually playing to win. You can watch this unfold, and it's quite amazing to see. So, and also I think in this idea of standing in truth, is I think sometimes you can want something too much. Does that make any sense? Like, imagine if this person that we spoke about, Ons, was in 3 finals but hasn't won any yet. And there's so much emphasis on winning a major final. Now they've won other titles, but to win a major is only the 4 chances that you get. Australian Open, US Open, Wimbledon, and the French Open. So you're not a failure because you didn't win, and at the same time, I think that in our lives, we can want something so much. Like this person, Ons, was up 4-2 in the first set and 3-1 in the second set and did not win and lost in 2 sets. In tennis, that's pretty remarkable. So, is that enough about tennis now? Oh, but on Vandrousova, what was interesting is she just got married. She's young, like I think 24 or 26, was just celebrating the next day the 1-year wedding anniversary with her husband. They didn't expect to win all that money. They didn't expect to stay. And there's hilarious things you can watch. There's a series on Netflix called Breakpoint. It's very good. So if you're interested in tennis and you're watching, it shows behind the scenes of these tournaments. There's at least 10 episodes. And one of them is where somebody's father, who's their coach, didn't even book a room for them to stay after the 3rd round because, I mean, maybe they thought they weren't going to need a room. And then she said something cute. This is Ayla Tomljanovic said to her dad, well, if she goes, once we have more cash, I'm going to fire you. And he says, I'm just a volunteer. How can you fire a volunteer? Anyway, the idea of standing in truth you got for today, right? So I don't even think we need any more quotes. I'll just come up with a closing out of one of the quotes. Oh wait, maybe there is a couple things. Science of Mind, page 112. The whole of spirit is potentially focused in our individual objective consciousness, but we have not yet evolved to a realization of this, except in a slight degree. And so that's right out of the text, and what I was saying earlier is this idea that if you leave here and you allow yourself to open any percentage up to spirit, right? Open yourself up to the divine, to have its full sway in, through, and as your life for my highest and best good, That is a living, perfect prayer. Let's say it if you're willing. If any of it rang true, just say, when I leave this space, and even right now, I call forth for the divine, universal intelligence to have its full sway in, through, and as my life for my highest and best good always. In all ways. All right, and there's another quote from somebody named Tom Johnson. We must practice the principle of living the presence of God. In so doing, we do not argue, criticize, or condemn someone else, or even our own self. From the Science of Mind, page 53, paragraph 3, a practitioner of this science should not be confused over any given form, but should know that any form which is not of the original harmony is subject to change. So we can see a diagnosis, we can see a prognosis, and we can refuse it. You can see beyond the appearance that's before you to the divine perfection, to that pattern of perfect wholeness. Right? When we say, I am perfect, whole, and complete, I want us to take that in, and I want us to live from that place. Let's also affirm that together if you're willing and you believe it. I am whole. I am complete. I am perfect. Even now. And especially right now. And so it is. Okay. Thank you, everyone. While Gilman's coming up, I have a closing reading I could do, or we could do it next week. We'll do it next week with Holly. If anybody wants to help with an announcement or reading or welcome, please see me after service. We could put you on the schedule.
Thank you, Mark. This is a song that was written about a story from one of my favorite authors I think he's from Denmark, a long time ago. And it goes back to what Holly said about own the fact that you are different. Sometimes it takes a while to understand that, and if you don't have a mirror to realize that you're different, sometimes you can just look in a lake and see your reflection in a lake. There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown, and the other birds in so many words said, "Get out of town, get out, get out, get out of town." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a flurry of eiderdown. That poor little ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, "Now get out of here, get out, get out, get out of here." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. All through the winter time he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others might say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of wheat, then a flock of swans spied him there and very soon agreed, "You're a very fine swan indeed." Me? A swan? Go on. They said, "Yes, you're a swan. Take a look at yourself in the lake and you'll see." And he looked and he saw and he said, "I am a swan. I'm not such an ugly duckling, no feathers all stubby and brown. For in fact these birds in so many words said, the best in town." the best, the best, the best in town. Not a squawk, nor a quack, nor a waddle or a quack, but a glide and a whistle and a snowy white back, and a head so noble and high. Say, who's such an ugly duckling? Not I. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure we can safely say that we'll be the only center that had that song today. And it was actually beautiful. Thank you. I was wondering what it was going to sound like when I saw it. So today, now it's time for the offering, and this is a time for conscious giving. And so I'm going to invite the ushers, if they're ready, to come forth. And what we'll do is have our tithes and gifts and offerings. We'll say an affirmation together. I'll give you a line, and if you agree, just go ahead and repeat it. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
Send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
Evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world.
Does great work in the world.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
So it is.
Kenny just said, is there going to be 1 million? And I said, yes, we're ready to receive more than 1 million. So if you're watching at home remotely, you can click on the Donate Now button. You can give by PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, personal check.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. Thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
And so I invite us to just outstretch our hands toward the offering, knowing that it is sufficient to meet the needs of CSL Redlands, which is an idea that's a successful idea in the mind of spirit, and therefore has all of its needs maintained, sustained, right on time, every time. Let's give a shout out for that with a grateful heart. And so it is. Thank you, ushers, for your time and service. Holly, you want to come up for the announcements? They're here. They're in a good font.
Okay. I keep trying to talk into this one. Members, please plan to attend upcoming special membership meetings, 11:30 a.m. right after service, next Sunday, July 23rd, and August 6th and August 20th. You are invited to join me and David on Saturday to represent CSL Redlands at the street fair in downtown. We could use some help setting up between 7 and setting up at 7 and taking down the tent at 11:30. Please let us know. And number 3, join us for the book club on Monday and Thursday nights on Zoom. We are doing Ask and It Is Given, and it's by Abraham Hicks. Abraham is a collective of spiritual guides on the other side, and the philosophy is very similar to ours, so it's a really fun book. And have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Thank you for your presence. We enjoy this. We are grateful for all of you for being here. So grateful. Thank you.
And if you want to rise up for the closing song, it's up to you. I know the double doors will be open, and Gilman's going to go ahead and sing out.
I used to think I would always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spent my days in quiet desperation. On the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Why did it take so many years? Now I am walking. Drum machine? Thank you. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Sing it with me. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation no matter what it looks like. There is no separation no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone away. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Yes, I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking